Hey everyone, welcome back to a very wet and windy update video. This is the update for week 8. We are now into week 9. I have to be brutally honest and say that past week was definitely the toughest week since I started this journey back at the start of June. Yeah, so for the first 7 weeks, I've tried to remain positive and consistent, and I've definitely felt that, I've touched on it before. I have in the past and sort of very recently suffered with mental health issues, through depression, anxiety, stress. And since starting the journey and obviously working on both my health and my fitness, it has had a huge impact on the mental aspects as well. I have felt a lot more positive. But this past week, I just let things build up like I used to. The stress, the anxiety and things were just building, and then got to Wednesday and sort of things just exploded. Luckily, not like to the extent of in the past, but it killed all motivation and positivity for me for the week. I really didn't want to sort of leave the house, so I didn't want to sort of go out for my walks. I didn't want to eat. At points I was forcing myself to eat because I just needed obviously to fuel the body. But there were times when I just sort of couldn't be bothered and couldn't be asked, to be brutally honest. So without going into too many details, it was just a bad week sort of mentally rather than sort of physically. May have seen the post on Wednesday when I put up that, despite that, I still sort of went out for my walk, and that did help. Getting out into nature, getting out into the sunshine, being alone with my thoughts to sort of really process things did help, but it wasn't the switch to instantly turn things back to positive. I was still suffering the effects of that throughout the rest of the week of just feeling sort of a bit down. Downbeat, and I still tried to remain active despite tripping over a tree trunk root on the Wednesday. So despite tripping over a tree trunk root on the Wednesday on my walk and really hurting my ankle, didn't go out Wednesday for that reason because it was feeling swollen and sore. Went out Friday, went out Saturday, went out yesterday. Starting to think I maybe should have listened to the body. It hasn't my ankle's been very sort of sore since. Maybe I should have taken the rest, but to be honest, I was feeling guilty that I weren't going to be getting out after being inactive both on Monday and Thursday, and I sort of guilt tripped myself into actually going out and being active to keep up the steps. But regardless of that, I didn't hit my targets on my goals. I know I've sort of said before that, I've not got specific targets for steps and things, but this week was definitely the lowest since June. It was 34,500 steps, but because of the longer walks at the end of the week, I still managed to hit the 14 miles. So swings and roundabouts. As I said, I didn't want to sort of eat, and whilst I didn't sort of go off on a jolly or eat sort of junk food, I sort of wasn't eating consistently. Whereas before, doing the meal prep, I've managed to have consistent meals ready to go. And this past week I didn't meal prep, was just getting food as and when I wanted it, and that definitely didn't help. So it's definitely, I can't change what's happened. That week's gone. Not going to write that week off because it's a lesson learned. It's taught me a lot about how to focus the mind and not let the sort of the negative thoughts and feelings and emotions overcome me to the point where it's going to affect my mental health and my fitness and stuff. So there are lessons to be learned in the bad times or the negative times, and the important thing is you learn from that and you move forward. This week I've set myself some mini goals of what I want to achieve, not in terms of weight loss, but just in terms of being you know, active and at one with my thoughts, to make sure that, you know, I'm preparing myself for you know, the next sort of coming weeks, so that if I do have bad moments or stressful moments, I then don't let it affect me like it did last week. I can, you know, manage it a lot better. You know, the mind is a wonderful tool, and sometimes when you have suffered from things like mental health, it is a fragile you know, component of the body, and it takes time to reconfigure that and to relearn, and that's the process I'm going through at the moment. You know, I'm trying to reconfigure the brain so that, you know, I can be positive and sort of upbeat going forward. But, you know, I always said at the start of this journey I would be honest with what was going on and my feelings and stuff, and that's what I've tried to be. You know, usually I wouldn't share sort of sensitive things of you know, the way I was feeling and stuff, but I think that's the best way to get the message across to people, and, you know, hopefully sort of show to other people that it is okay to have those sort of down moments or negative moments, and, you know, you shouldn't beat yourself up. You know, I guilt tripped myself at the end of the week with the walks, and maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I'll learn from that going forward and, you know, improve, and that's the most important thing. You know, as Matt Lane Fitness, he's a guy that I've started watching on YouTube. As he says, it's about being better than yesterday every day, and I think that's a fantastic sort of mantra to live by. You know, you haven't got to be better than anyone else, you've just got to be better than yourself, than you was, you know, yesterday and the day before. So looking forward to this week and the next few weeks, and just getting back on track with everything and keeping positive. But that's it for now, and I thank you very much for watching. You know, if you do watch the videos, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel, do give it a like, and it does help with the algorithm. I'm not all about the likes and the subscribers, but it would just help, you know, in getting that message out there. So thank you very much, and I'll catch up with you next week. See ya.